Hello, welcome to the Gaming Ocean, and today is the day for my advanced lock guide. Basically, by the end of this guide, we'll show you how to do this. It's a 4x4 lock, and it's wired to this door. And basically, if I change any lock on this, it actually does affect the door, so you have to get this combo right. Yeah. But we'll have to start off with the basics. First, I'm going to start off showing you how to do with two levers on top of each other. Now, basically, two levers on top of each other. One has a torch on top, one has a repeater going into it. And then there's a repeater on this block, and then this block. So this torch feeds this repeater power, and this repeater goes through this block and feeds this repeater power. This repeater feeds that torch power, and that torch is turned off. So basically, this is the type of setup you would have for both of them being up in order for your lock to be correct. Doing both. So you have to have them both up in order to get it to work. Now, this one is where the top has to work. No other combo will work. And we'll look at why. We still have the same basic setup. These first two parts will always be the same. Now, we want this to stay off when this torch is off, so we leave a repeater down here. And this has already been inverted because it has a torch. So instead of adding a torch right here, we're just going to leave it without the torch because it's already been inverted. So turning this off allows that torch to turn off, which doesn't give it power. However, if we get the bottom one, oops, I did not mean to do that. You have it where this repeater gives power to that redstone right there. So this is the one if you want the lock to be upward. And you can make a bunch of these side by side. So now this is the one where the bottom one has to be on. Now the bottom one has to be on, there has to be a negative input from the torch. So when it goes into this block, this torch is added. Now, because this already has a torch on it, if we want it to turn back off because the lever's up, we have to add another torch because it's a not gate. If we were to flip it down, that torch would be off, so allows that torch to turn on, which sends power to the stream again, which is bad. So this combination has to work with this particular setup. And finally, we have the one where both of the levers have to be down in order to get it to work. So we have the same basic setup for the beginning, and we want this one to be down, so it has to be inverted. So we have the torch, and this one has to be down, so it has to be inverted because we already have this torch here. So we just leave the repeater, and this redstone torch powers that redstone. That repeater powers that redstone. So if either one turns on, the redstone gets powered, thus turning the lock back off. Now I'm gonna, for this sake of example, just to show you guys how they can be built close, I'm gonna build a 4 wide one of levers. And this is an 8-bit one, so it's 2 to the 8th power different combos that you can get out of this. I'm just gonna sorry it's taking so long. I'm gonna get a door, and we're gonna have our basic setup. Sure, why not? Okay. So, now we have to always start off with the same basic thing, which is we have to have a repeater down at the beginning of every single one, and we always have a torch on the back of all these top ones. We'll make... Oh my god. Sorry, my mouse is lagging a bit. Then we add repeaters on top of these, and we have the basic setup. Now, all of the bottom ones depend what we want to do. So we actually probably want to have it where we'll just demonstrate each one of the different locks we've learned, where both up, top is down, bottom's down, and both are down. So for top up, we want neither one to be inverted, so we'll add a repeater here, and another torch here, and it's set up, and that's one output. Next, we want where the top one is down, the bottom one's up. So if the bottom one doesn't give a signal, the top one, however, when it's flipped down, doesn't give a signal either. So we're not going to invert it again because it's already not sending a signal when it's flipped downward. So I go ahead and add my repeater, add my next piece of wool, and basically right here, well, I actually don't need that next one. Works like that. And now you can see we're starting to get our basic shape for the lock. Now we want the bottom one, when the bottom one's down and the top one is up, that doesn't work. So we have to re-invert the top one. So we have to add a torch so that that torch is off whenever it's in normal up position. With the down position one, we need to go ahead and invert it. So we go ahead and make that. And finally, we have the last one where they want to both be down. We already have a NOT gate on the back of this, so we just add one last NOT gate at the end of that. And because we already have a NOT gate here, we don't need to add another one. So we just add one last bit of redstone, and it's set up. And we have our redstone lock complete. So you can make, now this looks a bit more complicated than some of the other locks we've been doing, and this does work no matter what combos you have. You can't have them all down and expect it to work. You have to have that certain combo, which is this, I believe. Yes. And that's how it works. Now, next we're going to show you how to add the next layer of torches. So we want to go ahead and I'll move out here, and let's say we'll just look at how you would add a third level torch that would be up here. Basically, you add one torch. There will be a torch on the back of each of the levers. And if you want this torch to be on, you have to add an inverter to it. So you pretty much have to make it go up, and yeah, you'll add a torch out here, and this. You have to add this second block, because if not, then redstone will get powered from that torch below, see? So you have to make sure that you add that second upper block so that's only powered by this torch. Now basically that's a NOT gate, so it's good when it's upward. If you want it to have to be flipped down, like so, you just add wool above it and link it. And now, well, I'll just have this on over here as kind of an example. Now when it's on, it's not working, so you see that doesn't change it. Having them both down doesn't change it. But now that it's off, okay, so it's off right now. Clicking that doesn't change it. Clicking that doesn't change it. But when you have the right connection, it turns on. So basically, all we need to do now is add that on top of our already existing 2-block one. And I think I'm going to make it where it has to be like this, would you say? That'll be good for me. So we add torches all the way across. and we add wool up here. And basically, the ones that we want to stay up need not gates. So this one and this one both need a not gate. And we simply add the wiring. And now we make it go downward in a stair-stepping motion. And I actually have to kind of destroy a little bit of what we did. So now the whole circuit has to be like this for it to be wrong. If one single lever is wrong, this whole door will close. Now you can see it's starting to get extremely complicated. We can actually add one more layer. And I'm going to show you. Pretend this was our fourth layer. We would not have those back there. This is actually not the best way to do it. You have to usually do these in rooms or it'll look a little weird, but you actually have it on top. Now, the levers you want to stay up, you add a redstone behind. The levers you want to stay down, you add a torch behind. It's pretty simple. And there will be a rare case where you'll have something like this, and you'll have, let's just say you have another torch. So this torch now becomes ineffective. You have to add a wool block on top and a piece of redstone to get it to work. And see, it still transmits that same signal. So now you see they'll both go into a stream like this, and they'll come out here. Now, the only way to turn it on is have that combo. Any other combo does not work. Now usually to hide it, you'll have to add wool kind of as an overhang over the last levers to make it where they can't see it. But it's a small sacrifice you have to make to get the next extremely confusing section of it. So here comes, we're going to take what we already have, we're not going to change a thing, and we're going to make it where we want more levers. And let's say we want it where it's like that and that. So we want it like that, we want it like that, and we wire the redstone. Okay, now, I actually need to do this so I can show you guys what I was talking about earlier. So, now the combo is like that, where these two on the right have to be put down. Okay, now basically you see, this does not affect the circuit at all. The rest of these do. If anything's wrong, the circuit doesn't work, except for this one. So the solution, like I was saying earlier, is to put wool above it, and put a redstone piece. Now, that redstone's connected, and you'll be able to do it. That only ever happens if you have a torch next to another torch, and right here it gets cut off, you see. Now basically, this is our 4x4 lock. There's 16 different levers, which means 2 to the power of 16 is somewhere in the mid 65,000 different combos you can get for this one lock, which is pretty impressive. It's about guaranteed to keep anyone out of your house molded there. And if you just want to hide it, you can simply kind of go like this, and you kind of hide the redstone. So you kind of have to make the lock kind of indent to the wall. But that's just to make it look nice if you feel like you want to. So, okay, so now we're going to look at, now that we have the 4x4 down, we're going to see, what if you want to have two doors with different combos linked to the same lock? This is a unique one, actually designed by a friend of mine. I'm going to show. I'm just going to have a 3x3 lock here. And on each of these, you want a repeater going out. I want to make it yellow just to color code it. Match our theme. All redstone goes on the yellow blocks. So we want a repeater. That way, each of those has its own separate redstone line. Now, you guys are... Basically, all you have to do is you build something sort of like this. you put torches on it. Now you can see turning each lever affects a different torch. So, you go up here, and you have another level, and this is where you basically say, well, what levers do I want to be down? So if I want this to be down, you add redstone above it. If you want those to be up, and we'll just say that's our first lock, then there you go. You'll add this over here, and make sure all the redstone's connecting. A little torch right here. And you'll basically just wire this down to a door, which I'll go ahead and put for take an example. Oh, I had a door. Not bad. Okay, so now what you want to do is, if you ever have that combo in it, you basically, it works. Any other combo will not work. Has to be that combo right there. Now here's the beautiful part of it. Now he built it where basically first there's a way to make redstone alternate in stream, kind of like this, and you see how each different piece of redstone stays separate. So this stays separate from that line because the trails never merge, so it all stays separated. Now it actually has to be 2 blocks away because this extends out. And now we'll put in our torches, and all you have to do now is wire in a completely different combo. So let's say I wanted these 2 torches to be, these 2 levers to be down, and this lever to be up. Well, that's up, and these 2 need to be down. And now, after I connect all the redstone like so, I add that torch, and now we connect this to a different door. Now, this basically means that whenever you have one combo in, you get, I believe I wired it like this. That's what happens when you put this combo in. Any door wired to this combo works. If you wanted it to where you use the first combo, the first door opens. And you can basically repeat this pattern for as far as you want. Go into as many doors as you want. The redstone will last forever. So you basically just repeat the pattern at this point. You would send it like so, and you will just continue, and you can add as many as you want. So, okay, I would like to thank you guys for watching the Gaming Ocean. Please remember to comment, rate, subscribe, and have a nice day.